What about you? What was that first experience and why did you come out?
I mean, so this is actually my second expat experience. So I had
Okay.
two. So back in 2017, after I graduated law school, my best friends, I had about one's my brother, my boy Alex. Shout out to Alex. And then four other people I went to law school with. They were all in London at the time. You know, when I graduated law school, even going through law school experience, even growing up, I never thought I was gonna leave the city. I'm a New York or nowhere type of dude. I love everything about New York. I'm a Tim's
You're a
fitted
Knicks
white
fan
tee.
too.
I'm a
Yeah.
Knicks fan. So I never thought about leaving New York. It was never in my psyche, never in my plans. I was just gonna grind it out in New York and just, continue my life there. And I remember that, prior to me going to law school, I went to law school part-time and I worked during the day and I had sort of like a little side hustle.
Yeah.
I won't get into details of the side hustle, but through that side hustle, I met, several connects. And one of them happened to be the best friend of the managing partner of the firm I was going to, London office. So the managing partner of the London office. Started in 2017, that managing partner was retiring that year and he was finishing his year out in New York. So his office was a few doors down from me, and he sort of said, "Are you so and so's friend?" I was like, "Well, I don't know who you are, but you must, just put connecting the dots. You must be
Yeah.
this person." So he took me out to lunch, and he said, "Send me your resume." I don't know why I already had the job. Why do you need to see my resume?
Hmm.
And he said, "Your resume is very bland, very boring. If you want to do something exciting with your life, go to London." I
Yeah.
was like, "What's in London?" I only heard, like Kanye, American Boy, and like,
Exactly.
everything's raining, Big
Big Ben,
Ben,
the
the
Queen,
Queen, red telephone booth,
Princess Diana.
Princess Diana. That's all you heard, right? So,
Yeah.
long story short, I accepted the offer. And everybody was super supportive of my family. Everybody was like, "Yo, you should definitely do it. Like, don't look back, don't turn back. You should definitely do it." But I was in a relationship at the time.
Mm.
And that was kind of a little bit of a sticking point. But I kind of just decided there that, look, this is a once in a lifetime opportunity. I spoke to everybody. Everybody's like, "Look, if you don't do this, you're
gotta
gonna
go.
regret it." Right. So I went to London. I got there. And I spent 3.5 years there, some of the best years of my life. I say that's my second college. That's where I grew up because I never
Yeah.
got to go away for school.
Okay.
Not even study abroad. I never went out of state, nothing. Everything was
Yeah.
New York, high school,
And then live
college.
in the dorms or anything
Never,
like
I
that.
never lived in the dorms or
Okay.
anything like that.
Yeah.
So everything was very New York. And that was I felt like that was my experience. I feel like the first 2 years there were, like you said, it was such a roller coaster, man. And
Okay. Wait, so the relationship lasts?
nah,
Okay, so
that once I punched the ticket, it was gone before there. It was
All
done by the
right.
time I left London. Um, and I remember my first expat experience. I have two. One's funny and one's serious, a little bit more on the serious side. So I landed to London first day I get there. I get on the 7 a.m. flight, landed to London at 7 p.m. Pouring rain. Me and my dad, pouring rain. And
That's the experience. That's the welcoming.
yeah, that's another. Basically, we got soaked on the way out. So basically, my boy's at the Ace Hotel in Shoreditch. He's like, "Come and meet us there." So we're getting ready. Me and my dad, blah blah blah, whatever. We take the cab, get into the Ace Hotel, and the dude's like, my dad, I'm thirsty. Obviously, I go to the bar, I drink, right, whatever, whatever. And the bar is pretty packed. It's a really packed bar, and I kind of like moved too quick onto my right, and I kind of bumped the girl, and I kind of spilled her own drink on her shirt. So she turns over to me, says a few words to me, which I won't say on camera. Family show, family show. And I respond and I say, "I'm sorry," and she looks at me. And she's like, "Your accent's so sexy." And I look, and
You be my American boy.
exactly. So I was like, I looked over to my dad. I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna be just fine here." So I've never had anybody tell me I had a sexy accent in my life. Coming from New York, I sound like everybody else. So nobody.
Exotic all of a sudden.
Exactly, I'm exotic. So literally, like, I'm exotic. I'm one of very few Americans in London, and I thought that Americans travel, but in fact, Americans don't really live a lot of other places,
Yeah,
right?
if you look at the stats, not a lot of Americans even have passports. So
No, they don't, right? So it's not in our psychic is to sort of get out the country, right? So that was my one first experience. And then my second experience was setting up a bank account. I'm sure you set up bank accounts. Everybody on the island has set up a bank account. But if you're an expat setting up a bank account in London, it's a 3 or 4 hour process.
wow,
I felt like I was open. I thought I was getting a $20 million line of credit when I was getting out of there.
Yeah.
So that was kind of my first experience. And then, fast forward later, came back to the States during the pandemic for a year. I had to get a health concern kind of cleaned up. Everything's good, thank God. And I got another opportunity to say, hey, one of our clients here, the firm I was with at the time, said one of our clients here needs needs a legal seconding to do a few projects that they're working on. And I spoke to my family. And this
Now,
time
wait,
around,
did you know about the UAE?
so I
before you
did.
came?
So the UAE, I came in 2017. So when I took the bar exam, me and my friends did a bar trip. And at the end of the bar trip, we did Dubai and Abu Dhabi. Came here, thought it was beautiful, magnificent. You know, everything. Dubai is just basically the Middle East version of Vegas. And then Abu Dhabi is very tranquil, beautiful, serene.
Yeah.
And I never thought I would be coming back. I was like, oh, it's fun. You know, I'm going to go back. Lo and behold, 3 years, 4 years later, I'm back in.
It's crazy how the world
the
works.
world
Yeah.
is very small, man. And then my mom, I remember my mom saying, go as far as that plane will take you. I remember her telling me that. And, you know, I had a lot of supportive people in my life and, you know, I did the move, never looked back. And I thought I was only going to be here for 1 or 2 years too, man. They had me perched up in Abu Dhabi, just recently moved out to Dubai.
Yeah.
And yeah, man, I had not looked back. It's like it's going on all 3 years now. So time has flown back.
Flies.
Flies, man. Flies so much.
Yeah.